Hello friends, today we are going to study about patterns. Patterns, you can see a lot of patterns. These are all triangular patterns which we are going to learn. And we are going to learn how to create patterns using nested loop. Now nested loop is a loop inside a loop where I assume that you already know or understand how nested loop works before we start creating these patterns. It's very easy to create. Though certain students who are very new to programming finds it quite difficult to understand the way patterns are created, but I believe that it is very easy to learn how to create this type of patterns. Currently what I have written out here are all triangular patterns which are left aligned. In the course of action, we are going to learn how to create patterns which are right aligned, which are rectangular in shape, which are pyramid in shape. So we are going to learn all this different type of patterns, and we are going to use nested loops for creating such patterns. Okay, before we start creating any of this pattern, let us learn how the nested loop works, because that is very important. Until and unless you have a very clear concept of how nested loop works, you won't be able to create such patterns. So first of all, let us learn how the nested loop works. I'll give you a small example. Say for example, for I, where I is a variable, less than equal to 3, I plus plus. For j equal to 1, j less than equal to 3, j plus plus. System dot out dot print ln I along with j. Let me print these two values. Now before understanding this problem, let me tell you that first the inner loop which you find, the innermost loop rather, will get executed first, and only after its completion the outer loop gets a chance for the next iteration. So we'll begin with this. First of all, what do we have? We have the variable I which is initialized with 1. So the value of I is 1. And then it certainly checks for the condition, and the condition happens to be true. So it gets inside this. And now what do we have? We have another variable which is also initialized with 1. So the value of j is 1. And the condition also happens to be true. Now when we display the value of I and j, so the first output what we are going to get is 1 and 1. One little bit of space because I put a space along with j. The value of j is also 1, so therefore 1. Now I said at the very onset of nested loops that the innermost loop will be executed first. So the next value of j will certainly be 2 because it is getting incremented by 1, and even this time the condition happens to be true. So when I print the value of I and j, the value of j is 2. So I and j, it's going to print 1 and 2 because I is still 1. Next time j plus plus, the value of j is 3. So print ij, it's going to print 1 and 3. Now, when the value of j is 4, it comes out of the loop because the condition is not fulfilled. And from here, it jumps back over here and updates the value of I. That is, it comes out of the innermost loop and goes to the outer loop. So now the value of I is 2 and the condition is valid. And here, the entire loop restarts from the beginning. So once again, the value of j is 1. But the value of I became 2. So when I print I and j, it's going to print 2 and 1. And next time, since the inner loop must complete its iteration first, so next time the value of j will be 2, I is still 2, so 2 and 2. Next time the value of j will be 3, so 2 and 3. Now after the end of this iteration, again it comes over here. Now the next time the value of I will be 3 and j will restart back from 1. So the next successive outputs are 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 3. So we can conclude that first the inner loop completes its iteration and only then the control goes to the outer loop and completes its iteration. Now I am going to give you another example. This time we are going to determine what will be the output of this particular program. Let us see this particular program. I equal to 1, I less than equal to 5, I plus plus. And then we have for j equal to 1, j less than equal to I, j plus plus, system dot out dot print j, and then we have system dot out dot println. Now let us try to understand how this particular program works. Here you can see the value of I is 1. So when the value of I is 1, j will start from 1 and go till I. That means since the value of I is 1, j will start from 1 and incrementing by 1, it's going to go till I. That is till 1. Now you see that means this particular loop is going to get executed once. So when I write system.out.print j, definitely the first output that we are going to get is 1. 1 to 1 is going to iterate just once, and after that it comes out of the loop. And look at the statement out here, system.out.println. Note that system.out.print keeps the cursor in the same line. Now the cursor was here, but once you come out of the loop, system.out.println is going to ensure that the cursor goes to the next line. So the cursor comes to the next line. So that means any successive output will come in this next line. So next time again it goes up. The next value of I is 2. So when I is 2, j will restart from 1 till I, that means till 2. And obviously incrementing by 1. So if I print the corresponding value of j inside this loop, this is what we are going to get. And it will be in the same line because I have written system.out.print. After this loop has ended, we have system.out.println, bringing the cursor to the next line. Now again the value of I will be 3. And j will restart from 1 till I, that means till 3. So print j is going to definitely print 1, 2 and 3. So I believe you can guess out what is going to happen next. Next time the value of I will be 4. So this loop is going to run from 1 to 4. So it's going to give you 1, 2, 3, 4. Next time the value of I will be 5. So this loop runs from 1 to 5. So see how simply this pattern could have been created. At least determining by looking at the program what will be the output is quite easy. The reverse situation. Now say for example I give you a pattern and you are asked to create it entirely by yourself. In such situations, how will you determine what is to be written with this loop? Now let me explain you something. Now let us try out a pattern with the following content. Now we already know the structure in which we can create such left aligned pattern. We are going to write this. Suppose we use the same variables, that is I and j. I equal to, say for example I have no idea, so I put a fill in the blanks. I less than, greater than, I get confused, so I'll put a fill in the blanks out there. I plus plus minus minus, this again creates a confusion, so I put a blank, fill in the blank with that. Followed by the j loop. For j equals to, I put a blank. J less than, greater than, this again I have a problem in determining. J will be plus plus or minus minus, this is again a problem. Now we know that it's going to print j followed by bringing the cursor to the next line. Now, in such type of triangular patterns, excluding the base, there are two sides. So, if this is the base, these are the two sides marked by these two lines. Now, the patterns which I'm going to show you right now, you will find that one of the side is fixed, the other side is changing. Now look at these two sides. This side is fixed. Fixed by how much? By 1. And this side is changing. Changing from 5 to 1. It's always from top to bottom. So, such type of patterns, you will always find one side is fixed, the other side is changing. So, the changing side ranges from the number 5 till 1. So, from 5 till 1 will be your outer loop. It's that simple. So, we are going to write 5, 1. Now, we can easily determine something. From 5, how do we get 4? From 4, how do we get 3? Of course, by subtracting 1. So, naturally, the value of I should be decremented. And whenever you go for decrementing, it should be greater than or equal to. Only then it should be decremented. So, we know how to get the outer loop. Now, coming to the inner loop. Now, you see, each of this line starts from 1. You can see every line is starting from 1. So, we can directly write j equal to 1. And here you see, on the right hand side, it always changes. So, in our case, the changing is 5. The changing value is I. So, we can write I. Because it begins from 1 and ends at I. Now, to determine whether it is going to be plus plus or minus minus, one simple technique I can tell you is, look at the base of the triangle. Is it increasing or decreasing? Obviously, it is increasing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, therefore, go for plus plus. And wherever you use plus plus, use less than or equal to. You see how it is working? When the value of I is 5, j runs from 1 to 5. Because 1 to I means 1 to 5. So, print j, it's going to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, print ln, bring the cursor to the next line. The next value of I will be definitely 4. And this loop runs from 1 to 4. So, it prints 1, 2, 3, 4. This is what we want. Next time the value of I is 3. So, this loop runs from 1 to 3. So, it prints 1, 2 and 3. Again, next time the value of I is 2. So, this loop runs from 1 to 2. So, it's going to print 1 and 2. And ultimately, the value of I is 1. So, the loop runs from 1 to 1. And definitely, you are going to get 1. Isn't it very easy? I'll give you one more example. Now, we have a triangular pattern of this nature. Now here, excluding the base, this is the base, excluding the base, there are two sides of this triangle. This is one side and this is the other side. Among these two sides, one side is constant, the other side is changing. Now which side is changing? Of course, the right hand side is changing. The right hand side is changing from 5 till 1, always from top to bottom, as mentioned earlier. So from 5 to 1, so that should be our outer loop. So 5 till 1. And since it goes from 5 to 1 in decreasing order, we write minus minus. And if we write minus minus, this will definitely be greater than equal to. Now determining the next step. Each line, you can see on the left hand side, every line we can, let me write L for left, this is right. This is my left. To make it more simple, this is my left. And this is my right side. You can see on the left hand side, every line is starting from 5. So on the left hand side, you can simply write 5. And the right hand side, since it is changing, you put I. Now determining the plus plus or minus minus. Look at the base of the triangle. What do you find? You find that the values are decreasing from 5 till 4, 4 till 3. So since it is decreasing, we will put minus minus. And if it is minus minus, we are going to definitely put greater than equal to. That's it. That's the way of doing. Pretty simple. I'll show you one more example. I think that this will be very good. The more you see examples, more you will be able to learn. In case you want to analyze this program, how it works, when the value of I is 5, this loop runs from 5 to 5. So here we have 5. Next time the value of I is 4, so 5 to 4, so it displays 5 and 4. Next time 5 is 3, so 5 to 3, 5, 4, 3. That is how it works. See, you don't even need to think so much. Now, one more example will make things more clearer. Okay, here is the pattern. Here is the pattern C. Now let us try to understand the characteristics of this pattern. Now, excluding the base, there are two sides. Which is the base? Obviously, this is the base. Excluding this base, there are two sides. So, this is one side and this is the other side. Now, which side is changing? Unlike the previous two patterns, the left side is changing. You can see from 1 to 5. So, since it is changing from 1 to 5, that will be your outer loop. Always the changing side is your outer loop. So, starting from 1 till 5. And to go from 1 to 5, obviously the value of I should be incremented. So, therefore, I plus plus. And remember, with I plus plus, it is less than equal to. Now, going for the inner loop. This is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. This is the left hand side, this is the right hand side. Now, the left hand side is always changing. If you have noticed, the first line begins from 1, the next 2, the next 3, the next 4, next 5. Since the left side is always variable, it is changing, we will simply put I. Had it been the right side changing, we would have put on the right hand side I. Now you see the right side in this case, unlike the previous two pattern, is always fixed with the value 5. So we put 5. Now determining plus plus or minus minus. Look at the base. The values in the base is always increasing. Starting from 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's increasing. So we are going to put plus plus. And if it is plus plus, definitely we'll put less than or equal to. If we try to analyze this program, what is the first value of I? Initially it is 1 definitely. So this loop runs from I to 5, that means 1 to 5. So that is the first line. Next time the value of I will be 2. So this loop runs from 2 till 5. Next time the value of I will be 3. So 3 till 5. You can see how this pattern is working. Okay, I'm going to try out one more example. Okay, you can see just like the previous pattern, we have the left side changing. Remember, which are the two sides excluding the base? These are the two sides. Among these two sides, one side is fixed, the other side is changing. The changing side is always your outer loop. The changing side starts from 5 to 1, from top to bottom, 5 to 1. So that's your outer loop from 5 till 1. And since from 5 to 1 it should be decremented, we are going to put minus minus. And minus minus means greater than equal to. We know this. Now getting back to the J loop. This is my left side, this is my right side. Now look at the left hand side. The left hand side always begins from the variable starting point. That is, the first line starts from 5, the next one 4. So again changing side is left. So left side, the changing side, you put I. And the right side is fixed. Fixed by how much? By 1. So just put 1. Now plus plus or minus minus. We need to determine that. We need to look at the base. Now, in the base, what are the numbers? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Isn't it decreasing? So, we are going to put minus minus. And if it is minus minus, it is definitely greater than equal to. That's it. If we analyze this, the value of I is 5 initially, so it runs from 5 to 1. Next time the value of I is 4, so 4 to 1. Next time the value of I is 3, so 3 to 1. That is how it works. It's that simple.